Hey everyone, I'm Audrey from Audrey Lynn Studios. I'm in Aldergrove, which is a municipality of Vancouver in British Columbia, right on the west coast of BC. Usually it's pretty warm here even in the winter. I mean, it gets cold, but it's negative 15 today and it's like, cruel joke. Anyway, good reason to stay inside and do your pottery. So this is my studio. It's just in a little garage. It never looks beautiful because there's just no place to put anything. But I generally have like a work table and another work table and my wheel and my wedging and all my brushes here and got a couple shelves of bisque and bone dry and a shelf for some clay. So either it's box clay or it's clay that I need to recycle. And then 2 cabinets of glaze, and right now you're sitting on top of the slab roller. So I get a lot in this little space, but it is little and there's no way it's ever going to look beautiful. Anyway, today I wanted to make a few things with extruded tubes. I volunteer at a pottery studio at the closest drug rehabilitation center for women, and they have an extruder, and I extruded a whole bunch of tubes and I need to get them done so that I, unlike the last time, don't have to reclaim all the clay because I left it too long. Anyway, so I thought we'd make about 4 or 5 things and I would bring you along with me. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I tried to get the best angle here and we'll just work with this. So I'll show you my tubes. I keep them in this Tupperware container until I get to using them. And so there's this one on top and then there's a bunch underneath. Let's take this one out. Now this is Plainsman 370. And I had totally intended to use Plainsman 340. But, these things happen. I grabbed the wrong box. It's not going to matter. They're going to make beautiful projects, but that wasn't my intention. So now I'm just getting a wear board. Here I am. It's a little wear board with some newspapers. There's not a lot of sticking. Okay, and inevitably when you extrude tubes, you're going to get little air pockets, like there'll be like a little hole here or something because there was air in the extruder. This one is pretty darn good. So that's awesome. So what I'm going to do then is take my cutting knife. I've got this little knife. Dude, shh. Or I was thinking of trying my harp. So let's try that. I've never used it on this, and yet I thought, oh, why not? Nah, it's not working so well. Nope. Doesn't work so well. Works really great on clay that is, you've just thrown something and it's stiffening up, and then you can take the harp to it and do a nice contour line. This didn't work so well. So we're going to use the knife, and I wet it because it seems to go better when it's wet. Yeah, good. Then you're going to put that into reclaim or whatever. Okay, and then decide on the height of your, in this case, I'm going to make a vase. So I'm going to go kind of half. There we go. Okay. Now with this vase, I'm not going to do anything too fancy. First thing though, let's put a bottom on it. So take your serrated rib and give it a good score. And then what I did was I rolled out a slab on my slab roller, but you can also use your rolling pins and so on. And I actually made this slab, usually I go 1/4 inch, but not for a bottom like this. I did just less than 3/8 of an inch. And I've put some slip on the bottom just so I can mark out where that's going to be. Actually, no, I'm not going to mark it out. I'm just going to leave it on there. And use my cake stand banding wheel and a needle tool and just cut it out around there. Now I know it's really going to fit, right? I don't have to go looking for a cookie cutter that fits and all that. There. But I didn't score the bottom yet, so we want to take that off. Score this. You can score this again. Use your slip and put it back on. There. Okay. Just give it a really good push. There. Don't need that for a minute. Don't need that for a minute. And then what I'll do is I'll roll it around just to get it on there, and it'll come up over the edge a bit, but that's okay. Because then I'll take my my fingers in my rib and start to smooth it out. And just sealing up that seam is what you're doing. So you want to make sure that seam is sealed up. Okay, do I have no. You can use a rib for this, but I don't see one handy, so I'm not gonna stop and get one. Okay, and then once it's all somewhat sealed up, you can work it on a little bit more later, of course. All right, so that's, I mean, the basics of doing the bottom anyway. There. Okay, so now you've basically got a vase. Now, one of the vases I like to make is when you tear it off like that, and then give this back part a pinch to make it a little bit taller and start tearing that one off like that. Hope you can see that okay. And then I flare it out a little bit. I think I'll take some more off here. Yeah, something like that. And then I'll take a little cookie cutter, a round one. Okay, I can't quite find it, so I'm just going to pause you. Okay, so this round cookie cutter is about 1.25 inches. I don't know if you can see that, my nice red ruler. And I'm going to just give it a little wet and put a hole right here. Like that. And I'll give it a little pinch. and pull it out a bit. That, like a little bird hole, and then I'm going to sculpt a little bird. So yeah, that's pretty good. Give it a little ball, roll it into a ball, and then roll it like that so that, see that? This is going to be your tail. Just push it up, and then your little beak is like that. And then you just play with it a little bit. Can you see that? So that's my little bird. I'm just going to smooth him out. He's got a few cracks. Because I'm using these leftovers and they're a little bit dry. And that's because I extruded the tubes. What's today? I extruded them on Wednesday. Okay, so then we're going to score a little bit right there and score under our bird. And stick our little birdie in the hole. Give it a couple little, am I in your way? Okay, give it a couple little eyes. And you have a done vase. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Okay, that's fun. All right, I'll just pause you and be right back. Okay, I changed tables because I turned on the fancy lights and there's a nice big shadow. So here we go. All right, so with this one, I've put the bottom on already. And this was how it came out of the extruder. And I kind of like it, but I just want to pull it out a bit. I do like those organic looking edges, so yeah. This one's a little dry on the end. There we go. Let's flare it out a bit. Now this one I'm not going to cut a hole in, so it's going to be able to hold a lot more water. What I'm going to do is take a piece of clay, and this is the one that I had rolled out for the bottom, so it's too thick for what I want to do. So I'll give it a little roll out to even less than 1/4 inch, I think. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. So it's something quite thin. And I am going to put poppies on here. So I've got these mini cutters off Amazon, and I can put that link below if you like. So here's the biggest one, and then I just pinch the edges like that, and then give it a dimple, and it looks like a poppy. So let's score the back and decide where we're going to put that on here. I think about there looks good. A little bit of slip. Stick that on. And then ever so gently, you're going to use, and that's mostly because you can't get your hands down to the bottom, the end of a brush or something like that. So just for interest's sake, let's go for this chopstick. Okay. Now I know that I want these poppies to go up here, and I know that I want them to decrease in size. And um, if you know anything about composition, which you may not, everything comes in threes and fives. So basically odd numbers. So if I'm going to have a big one, and I know that I'm going to have 5 poppies, then I would probably have 3 medium or 2 medium and 2 small, so that I have 5 pieces, but they're decreasing in size. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let's go for the medium size. Squish the edges. Give it a pinch. Score, score, score. I'd say right about there. I still can't get my hands down there. Give it a little dollop. There. So another medium. I'll try and do this quick for you. It's nice if they kind of overlap a little bit, not always, just sometimes. See? And then the small. And I think I will put that up here. And then the last one, I'll put right about there, kind of touching a little bit. So they're your poppies. You can figure out what you want to do with them. Oops. I'm not out of the camera. I need to move the camera a little bit. Or my stuff a little bit. Better? Yeah. Okay. Give it a little doink. There. And there you go. Now you can take it one step further if you like and use a carving tool or a skewer and put the stems in. So now this stem here would extend down here, and you have to follow how that flower would be going. So like you have to kind of pretend, and then here, and then this one, and this one. You don't have to have them all because that's artistic liberty. And then if you want, you can carve in some poppy leaves and clean them up later. Poppy leaves kind of go, well, on my poppies anyway, they do go like that. Okay, so I'll just stop there so that I won't keep you, but there you have it. And this vase is, it stands 9 inches, but the water can go to 7 inches. Okay, I'll just pause you. Okay, so I'm just going to use this tube here to try and even off this bottom. And then let's go in about an inch, I think. Trick with this is just to get it straight. No, usually not. That's the unfortunate part. Might be doing okay. All right, so you got a ring there. Yeah. Okay. Just give it a little pat down and finesse it, which of course you can do more sponging later. Oh, I'm a terrible cutter some days. Holy, that's pretty bad. All right. And you can take a little roller. Let's see, let's go for this kind of oceany one. So now I've got a little roller. So you can see here that like I did not cut that very well, but it's almost better to just, well, maybe not here because I'm going to put a medallion on it. Maybe it's better to just cut it right now, like just clean it up, because it's hard to clean it up under the medallion. But other places it might be better just to leave it and deal with it after. So I was thinking we could put a little medallion here. This one would probably be big enough. And we can take a piece of our clay. And give it just a little roll. You don't want it too thin because now it's sitting there on top, right? And you don't want it to flop. So what I do is I just put it on here and just to show where my ring is. And then I'll take a small stamp. Let's see. Oh, here's a cute little bird. See? And then cut it again. All right. So there. You've made yourself a little napkin ring, serviette ring. So I'll clean all this up and show you later with a nice little bird on it. And you'd probably end up using like an underglaze and then wiping it off, and that bird would show up better. All right, be right back. Okay, another little tube with a bottom, and I'm going to make a vessel. So it could be like a vase or a pencil holder, or even a cup if you want. And I'll put this dowel in here and roll it around. And you can see that it's getting bigger on the end. I'll move some of this stuff. You just have to work with it a little bit. So it's thinning it out. Do you see how it's changing shape? There we go. And then we can just start, if you want, you can just start bellying it out or flaring it out at the top. So it takes a little bit. So I'll just pause you while I get that done. All right, so I have this shape, and what I'm going to do now is take a decorative roller. I like this vine one, and just give it some texture. Just subtle texture. Now this is going to be a very organic vessel, that's for sure, because you're stretching it every which way. But I like it. So you can see this soft texture on there. And if you want, you can put a nice button on there. Kind of like what we did with the serviette ring. There we go. This is a stamp that I carved. So you can carve your own stamps, which is really nice. It's a really cute little button. Sort of stays with the leaf theme. And I'm just going to give it a little, so I know that that's the area that I have to score. Just like that. And I'm going to let that adhere for a bit. And then I'm just going to take my fingers and flare out this top. Now, there's no reason why you can't take this to the wheel. If you're into that, you totally could. And make it rounder, or I don't know, trim it or whatever you're going to do with it, but you totally can hand build something and then halfway take it to the wheel. I do that all the time with my mugs, my hand built mugs. So there you go. Cute. In fact, you could make a whole set of drinking glasses like that. Okay, I'll be back. Now with this tube, I'm going to make a calla lily vase. It's quite stiff up here. I don't know. I only extruded them on Wednesday, and they're in that plastic bin, and somehow they're all getting quite stiff already. But we'll just work with it. So I'm going to cut my vase like it's a calla lily shape. But a calla lily is more pointed at the back. So let's see. Yeah, that's a good start, I think. And they kind of go like that. So let's work with that. What I want to do is get this higher and more of a point. So let's see if we can coax this. Can you hear my dog snore? So I'd love to know, I'd really love to know what you do with your extruded pieces. like what your ideas are. Even if you haven't done them yet, what are they? So this is a little bit more difficult because it is quite stiff already. I'm so surprised, but oh well. And then they kind of come out like that. Right? That's kind of what a calla lily looks like. So I've got this funny little bit here. We want to make sure we take care of what's going on in there. It comes down here like that, and it would come down like that. And I'm finding that this isn't quite pointy enough. And this one has to come down here. Yeah, better. It's even pointier, but I don't want to get it too pointy and then have it break on me. Okay, I'm going to work with that a little bit and come back to you. But you get the idea, I think. And then what I've done here is just extended this down for design. Okay, I'll come back. All right, here's my somewhat finished product. So you have this suggestion of a calla lily, and then brought what would be the stem, I guess, and then carved some leaves in. So we'll just set that aside, and you know, there'll be some finessing after. Okay, so here's one of those blowouts. I was talking, maybe I didn't talk about it before, but often when you're extruding, there'll be some air pockets, and yeah, this is what'll happen. So you just work with it, right? So I'm going to probably cut it here then and make a smaller, oops, oh man, just terrible at cutting. Okay, stop, think. There. Sheesh. All right, and this is quite stiff now, so I'm going to cut that off too. I'm quite surprised actually how fast this stuff is drying even in that plastic container. It's making me a little bit mad. Oh well, just got to work with it. That's pottery, right? So what I'm going to do is put a bottom on this. No, I'm not. First, I'm going to level it out a bit. And then I am going to take my roller and make it bigger, like we did before, only this time we're doing the whole piece. All right, it's getting there. And so what you can do then, well, since you're rolling it like that, you can get a textured mat or something. This one's, I think off of Amazon. I'll check, and, you know. And you can see. since you're rolling it like this, then you can give it a fun texture on the outside. So you've made, this is narrower, like, sorry, the walls are narrow, oh, for goodness sake, narrower, because you've made this bigger, okay? And I am just going to have it shaved off a bit here. And I will pause you and put a bottom on that. Okay, so put a bottom on that. And give it a little organic flair so it's not round, see? And I think that this would be like a votive candle, and I really think it needs a bird. It needs a bird, don't you think? So again, I'm going to make my little ball and give it a little tail. Like that. Give it a beak. And you just have to finesse it a little bit. So do you have any markets coming up or fairs coming up? It's a little early in the year, but I noticed on Facebook there's a whole ton coming up. And I actually have one at the end of this month. Bit of a private one. It's for our charity, so whatever part proceeds go towards are donated to the charity, but that's not a real like community market. So yeah, let me know. Okay, so here's my little bird. And oops. I'll give him some eyes. Yep. And then let's see, where should we put it? I'm just gonna give that a little bend. A little score here. Daw. How cute is that? It's a nice little votive. So if you have any Valentine's markets coming up, then these are some fun ideas, and you can, you know, put applique hearts, or I have a whole bunch of stamps that you can make buttons out of, like I love you, and I like this one. Also, I love you, but it's a little fun. And, you know, be mine, things like that. All right. Okay, let's cut off this little blowout. And I'm going to make 2 votives. Yeah, guess that's not too big. What I'm going to do is span them again. Now, if you wanted to take lots of time to do that and make a little cappuccino cup, you totally could, you know, put a handle on it. That's an easy way to make cups. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty thin. Okay, so what I thought I would do with this one is make it the bottom like that, or that shape. Okay, so let's get some gray. And we'll make our shape and then cut it out. Roll that back under plastic. And then we're going to score the bottom. And this. Now, because I've rolled this out, it's quite a bit softer than what it was before. So let's just pinch this to fit our base and make it triangle-ish. But I don't want to roll it around like I did the others quite yet because it is quite a bit softer from rolling it out. So what I'll do is just leave it for now. But I would like to flare out these points. And it kind of has an elegant look when you do that. Oops. It's because it's so stiff. And I'm so surprised. Anyway, I'll go back and fix that. There we go. Okay, so pretend those cracks aren't there. I'm not too worried about that because as potters, we always find ways of dealing with stuff. And what I would do is probably trim it and put a little bouquet of flowers or a bird there or something like that, which is probably what I'm going to do because I'm not going to try and get that going through the kiln and hope that it comes out right. It's not. Anyway, it's starting to look quite elegant. There. So what I do is take this off because it's icky. It doesn't matter if it's jagged here. Just have to find ways of dealing with the curve balls. So this part is really pretty. And so let's see, why don't we then I'm just going to do poppies since that's what I have here. But I have lots of miniature flower cutters. And for some reason, no, I can't see. Oh, here they're hiding. They're hiding. Let's see. You probably don't need 5, but something like that. Oh, to me, it looks like it's going to lend itself to 3. So I'm going to put it, no, like that, I think. Or maybe like that. I'm going to have it overlap a bit. Oh, that's my dog. He's complaining. Guess I could move this over here. Sorry about that. Goodness sake. Come on, get on there. And actually, put this down a bit more. We can put some into here. I'm just working towards our rule of odd numbers. Of course, rules are meant to be broken. But in this case, it usually works out quite well. There we go. And then we'll put a little one. Just going cascading down here. All right, so I'm going to deal with the bottom once it's stiffened up a little bit, but, oh, sorry, can you see that? Yeah, okay. There you go. Push that one down, this one up, this one over. Just going to let them all settle, but yeah. And it has that triangular bottom with the flared out edges, and of course, yeah, see how we fix things, right? Okay, so let's have a look here. I didn't finesse everything yet, but we've got 1, 2 of those, well, 3 of those, and a short one. And then we have the poppy vase. And this one was the one that we did the roller on the outside and put a button on it. Flared it out. And this one had a wood grain with a birdie on it. This is the triangle one that messed up, but sure doesn't look bad. And then I did one votive like this with the stamp, I love you, with the little hearts around. So when you put the candle in, you'll see the flame through the little holes. And then we did the serviette holder with the button, the bird. Yeah, so, and I did do a triangle one that actually worked out. So, you know, you don't need an extruder to do these. You can, just like you would slab build a tube, which I can do for you in another video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But you certainly can just hand build a tube and then do this kind of thing with that. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and yeah, so subscribe if you found it helpful, and share the video, and I'll be bringing these out of the kiln, you know, in probably a couple weeks, so you can watch for that, or I'll come back and edit this video, whatever. Oh, my dog. All right, so see you later, pottery friends. Happy creating.